Everyone is talking about lithium, the white gold that will power our future, and everyone is terrified about the chip crisis in Taiwan. But what if I told you that all this technology, from the latest solar panels to the most powerful AI servers, is teetering on the brink of collapse because of a silent shortage of a single metal, a metal we've used for thousands of years, once considered mere currency or ornamental jewelry, but which is, in fact, the best conductor of electricity and heat on Earth? It's irreplaceable and cannot be synthesized. Today, we consume staggering amounts that exceed our production for the fourth year running. The shortage is growing and stockpiles are dwindling. This is the next geopolitical and industrial choke point that the financial media will only address when it's too late. We're not talking about copper, we're talking about silver. How will this metal halt human progress? For decades, the world fell into the trap of a historical illusion. When governments abandoned the silver backing of paper currency in the late 19th and mid-20th centuries, many believed that silver had lost its strategic value, becoming merely a younger, less valuable sibling to gold. But while central banks were emptying their silver reserves, factories and research laboratories were discovering an engineering secret that would change the course of history. In the periodic table of elements, no element, I repeat, no element, surpasses silver in electrical and thermal conductivity. It is the standard by which all other metals are measured. Copper is excellent, but not silver. Gold resists corrosion, but it is not as efficient as silver in transmitting pure energy. This undeniable physical reality transforms silver from a mere store of value into an industrial lifeline. Today, more than 50% of the world's demand for silver comes from sectors unrelated to jewelry or investment. It is used in every electric car, every smartphone, every satellite, and most importantly, in clean energy infrastructure. This is where the real crisis begins. The world is racing against time to move away from fossil fuels. The primary driver of this transition is solar energy, but engineers faced a dilemma. Traditional solar panels weren't enough. For years, the industry relied on a technology known as PERC, which consumed about 10 milligrams of silver per watt of power produced. But to increase panel efficiency and surpass the 22% threshold, the world moved to the new generation, high-power N-type TOPCon panels. These powerful panels, which you see today in mega projects, require 30% to 50% more silver, reaching 15 milligrams per watt. Future technologies like HJT consume even more than 22 milligrams. Milligrams may seem like a small number, but when you multiply that by the billions of watts installed globally each year, the result is catastrophic. The solar energy sector alone now consumes more than 15% of the world's total silver production. Why don't they use copper? Cheapest. The answer is simple: reliability. Solar panels need to operate efficiently under intense sunlight for 25 years. Replacing silver with copper leads to oxidation, loss of efficiency, and power plant failure. Major investors won't risk billions of dollars on technologies prone to failure. Silver isn't a choice here, it's a physical imperative. As if the solar energy crisis wasn't enough, artificial intelligence, AI, has added fuel to the fire. The giant servers that train AI models and the superchips made by companies like NVIDIA and TSMC generate enormous heat and require data transfer speeds that can't tolerate any electrical resistance. The only way to ensure these tiny chips don't burn out and that connections remain efficient is, yes, you guessed it, silver. So, what's the problem? Why don't we simply open new silver mines? Herein lies the geopolitical choke point. More than 70% to 80% of the silver mined globally doesn't come from pure silver mines. It's extracted as a byproduct from copper, zinc, and lead mines. This means that even if the price of silver skyrockets, mining companies can't easily increase production unless demand for copper and zinc rises first. Secondly, who owns these mines? Countries like Mexico, China, and Peru they hold the lion's share of production and refining. In an era where resources are used as a weapon in a Cold War, what would happen if these countries decided to restrict silver exports to protect their domestic technology industries, just as China recently did with gallium and germanium? We're talking about a global deficit for the fourth consecutive year, with industrial demand at around 1.2 billion ounces while production is stuck at 830 million ounces. We are facing an inevitable clash. On one hand, there are billions of dollars in government commitments to transition to clean energy and build AI data centers. On the other hand, there is a structural shortage of the essential material that makes all of this possible. Global stocks available on the London and New York stock exchanges are silently dwindling. The question now is, will this bottleneck lead to the collapse of the clean energy revolution and slow technological development? Or will engineers, under the pressure of absolute scarcity, invent entirely new composite materials that defy the laws of physics as we know them? Until that miraculous innovation happens, silver will remain the hidden master of the 21st century, an ancient metal that holds the keys to the future. In a world of accelerating change, it is not enough to read the numbers on screens. You must understand the resources that drive those numbers. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the silver crisis will be the spark for a new economic war? If you are interested in a deeper understanding of technological geopolitics and the economics that mainstream media doesn't tell you about, subscribe now to Studio Legacy and turn on notifications. We are here to bring you the legacy of knowledge that precedes the trend. See you in the next episode.